iFILM, London. iFILM.
We're here today for the first head-to-head press conference between our two gentlemen taking part in the main event for November the 5th for Frank Warren promotion at Wembley Arena. The guys, they don't really need much introduction. We've tagged the show Gladiators, and I think it's fair to say that both of these guys deserve that tagline. On my right, we've got Ricky Burns, the former undefeated WBO super featherweight champion of the world. Ricky's stepping up a weight. He's challenging a guy that's quite known over here in these shores for a bit of brick bashing. He's on his, I suppose on his resume, you could say that he's already got Kevin Mitchell and Graham Earl on there, and he's looking to try and add Ricky Burns as another scalp. Ricky himself, it's a chance to become a two-weight world champion. One of the only Scottish boxers to do that, and we firmly believe at our promotional company that he can do that. The night, November the 5th, that's when we're going live with this, that's when it is. Bonfire night, and I think we can all safely say that we can expect some real fireworks on the night. Also on the night, we've got George Groves challenging Paul Smith in the defence of his British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles. This is all going to be live and exclusively shown on channel Sky 456, which is Box Nation, the new home of UK boxing. Also on the card, we've got Derek Chisora in a chance to kind of get over that tough fight that he had with Tyson Fury against Larry Oliwamibayo. If I've got that wrong, Larry, I'm really sorry. It's quite a tough name to say. And also Billy Joe Saunders in his quest for his first title in the Southern Area middleweight challenge against Gary Bolden. What I'll do now is I'll pass it over to the guys. If Michael could say a few quick words and then pass it over to Ricky, he'd say a quick few words about the night and how training's going, and then we'll open it up for some questions.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, well, thanks very much for having us here. It's great to be back in England again fighting. I've had a great preparation and I'm ready to do the business now, so there's not much else to say. Two great fighters, looking at putting together a great fight, and one of us will soon be the full outright world champion, so I'm looking forward to that being me. Nothing much else to say, done the work.
All the hard work's done, just over a week to go. Just again, all the weeks of training and that, it's just been leading up to obviously next Saturday, so I just can't wait to get in there. It's going to be a hard fight, but I'm sure both of us are right up for us, so it's going to be a good one.
I think it's fair to say, guys, that we're actually in for a real treat here. We know, we've seen proven from Ricky, the way he fights. He's a fan-friendly fighter. That fight against Roman Martinez, it was, you know, in the opinion of quite a few people, fight of the year for 2010. It was a cracking fight, and we know that we're in for the same here again. Michael comes forward, he's a come-forward fighter, and I think, again, Box Nation viewers, they're in the opportunity to see a real war. I think the entire card's one of the best cards I've seen this year. I personally feel this fight could be up there with the Murray Mitchells that we've had, and to have it over for the WBO Interim Lightweight Championship as well is fantastic. It's a real opportunity for both guys. You know, obviously, us guys being in Ricky's corner, we feel that he can do this. We think this was the right time for him to step up. We've taken on the advice and what Frank and Billy have been discussing. That's how they felt it should be done. And as I've said, it's a great night of boxing. We have some tickets still available for the night. We've done nearly 8,000, which we're very happy about, but obviously Wembley holds about 10. So if you do still want your tickets, get on the website. It's www.frankwarren.tv. And if you're not there on a night, make sure you tune in on Box Nation. As I said, guys, we'll open it up now for some questions.
Michael, you last over 2010 when you fought Kevin Mitchell. If you could give us an update on the career today. I know you've had a couple of losses, came back with a victory in your last fight as well.
A bit of an update with the career since then. Well, we took on the hardest fight possible after the Mitchell fight, fought Marquez, and it was a pretty, as everyone may know, it was the fight of the year, HBO fight of the year. It was a great fight. Then after that, I went ahead and fought Guerrero, and then of course, you know, it was a hard year, and you know, those are both fights that I gained a lot of experience out of. went back to Australia and fought against Michael Katsidis at the junior welterweight division. So had a win there. Now I haven't stopped training. We just kept on training forward and hoping to peak for this fight.
You're still using Thailand as a training
That's
ground?
right, same as per usual.
And that's a great benefit to you, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, nothing's changed. You know, we haven't done too much different in the training. We've still just kept everything regular. So, you know, just doing what I'm good at and keep getting better and better each time.
What's your thoughts on facing Mr. Jones now back in the UK?
Oh, very, very excited. This is the time for me to shine. You know, like I've done all the work and time for me to peak. And, you know, I've looked at his fights and, you know, when the chips are down, he digs deep. So this, you know, there's a fight's a fight. He's a fighter, so this is going to be fantastic. And but you know, the question's going to be asked to both of us during the fight. You know, do we really want to go on with it? And it's going to be a long, hard, tough fight.
You feel that can bring the best out of you?
Of course, of course.
What's your thoughts now, Ricky, facing Michael Katsidis?
Obviously, he's been in the best in the division. Obviously, for a first fight up at lightweight, I couldn't have asked for a harder fight. But training has been going good, so you know, I just can't wait to get in there and go on weight now, so I can't.
What's the differences moving up in weight in terms of the way you've prepared?
Well, we've done it really the same. It's just obviously boiling down to super featherweight. I just feel as if I was just dehydrating myself and I was taking that wee bit of strength out of me. Obviously now more comfortable making the weight. When we did officially move up to lightweight, it was just a big weight off my shoulders. So again, I've got a chance to go out there and prove that it was the right choice.
Have you had a close look at Michael's fights in the past?
Obviously, I've seen, when he has been boxing, I've obviously watched it. But since I've been fighting, since the fight was announced, I don't really like watching my opponents. Billy's been doing that, picking out different things and things we've been working on in the gym. But me personally, I don't like watching my opponents. Whatever happens is going to happen.
Do you expect a really tough night in there?
We've trained for a hard 12 rounds, we know it's going to be the hardest fight in my career. But I'm right up for this fight.
I think Ricky taking this fight says a lot about him as a boxer and as a person. You know, Michael, as I said, he's known over here for his toughness, his durability, the fact that he can, you know, he can blast opponents out. Ricky stepping up the weight because of weight issues, he was automatically put in the #1 spot. You know, we could have gone and tried to ease him in with a different type of fight for the title, but he wanted this fight. It was the fight that these guys were after, and I think, as I said, you know, that shows what this guy's about, and you can't really ask for much more than that with it.
How many fights did you struggle to make the weight for?
Do you know, some of the fights, some of the defences, even when I was Commonwealth champion, maybe one fight I would make it okay, and then the next I would struggle. But it was just seemed to be after. Then we got word we were fighting for the world title. Obviously you can't knock that back, but it just seemed to be every fight after that it was just getting harder and harder for me. And when we were in the gym, we kept saying, right, this is definitely the last time. And you know, the talk about lightweight was always on the cards, and if you get a chance to fight Michael Katsidis for the WBO interim lightweight, you've got to jump at it.
You could eat normally now where you wouldn't before? I mean, how different is it?
Well, I'm still, although I was on a strict diet for maybe 6 to 8 weeks before when I was fighting at super featherweight, and when I say strict, I mean it was like really, really strict. But now, whereas although I still diet, but I can eat more of stuff, obviously what I need to, especially as the amount of hours we're putting in the gym and the intensity of the training. I just feel so much better for it.
Ricky, how much more power do you feel you've got now that you can fight at lightweight?
Well, do you know, I know everybody, when they look at my record, they say, oh, he's not a big puncher. I do hit harder than my record suggests. My sparring partners and that, even when they come up, they think, some of them have even said they thought they've been coming up to spar with a sharp boxer. And then when they find out you can actually punch, it's a whole different story. I do believe that I'm going to be a lot stronger at lightweight. I'm not boiling down to make the weight, I'm not dehydrating myself at all. So I think this is going to be a cracking fight. I just want to get in there and go on with it.
Is there any concern, any danger of the fact that you're stepping up a weight and you're fighting against a guy who hits as hard as Mick does?
I've always said I want to fight the best in the division. Obviously, Michael's been in with the best in the division. He's proved himself. He's already been over here twice, as we've just said. Last time out, he beat Kevin Mitchell. I boxed on that show as well, so I actually got to see the fight at fair ringside. So just really looking forward to it now.
Have you seen any of these fights, Michael?
Yeah, I have. You know, I've viewed a few of them, but like pretty much the same as him. Do you want to do that for me? But pretty much, I don't look at too much footage. I let my trainer do all that, and that's you know, you can overthink things. I think before a fight, you know, we're very similar. Like we adopt a lot of the same values in the lead up to a fight. What happens is what happens when you get in there. So, yeah, that's the factor here.
Can I ask Billy a bit about the training as well? Ricky, if you can give us an update.
Well, because he's moved up in weight, Ricky's been out of, I mean, he's an immensely hard trainer anyway, but we've worked on, his power certainly improved. His power, I mean, he's always had a good punch, and to be fair to him, he's stopped in his 17 fights. For me, I think you've stopped about 9 or 10 in them. Yeah, something like that.
No, not that much.
There's not as many as that. But what people tend to forget here is, as good as Michael's an exceptionally great fighter. I love watching him. I'd pay to go and watch him. But Ricky Burns is better than Kevin Mitchell, and he's better than Graham Hill, and in my opinion, far better. And this is going to be some fight next week.
Can I ask you as well?
I'm not Michael's trainer in this. No, but Brendan's sort of at business ties, so I'm just standing in for him. So really, any questions, can you sort of pass it on to Michael?
Ricky, did you take a lot of persuading to give up your title? Because obviously it took a long time to win it and then just to hand it back.
Well, as I said, it was just, see the last couple of defences, it was just getting so hard for me to get down. Obviously, I didn't want to gear up. Obviously, if I wasn't fighting for a title at lightweight, then no doubt I probably would have been struggling away. But you know, see through, I think it was in the long term, it's better for me now that I've moved up, because we had been speaking about it for years. So and we kept putting it off and putting it off. But I'm just so much happier with boxing. Can concentrate on the boxing side of it rather than killing myself to make it weight. So just so much happier now.
It's just called nature. You know, I mean, he's been maintaining this weight for 4 or 5 years.
No.
You know, I mean, that's hard in itself. When you were that age, you get heavier, didn't you? It's just a natural thing for every human.
Well, obviously it is, but you know, there's another thing of giving up a world title, I think.
But to what would you want to see happen?
Well, I'm just asking
An
if
accident.
to get a quote out of Ricky.
That's how accidents happen in the ring. He'll get in the ring 100% healthy and fit. That's why we've moved up.
We noticed a big difference, Ricky, fighting in London as opposed to Scotland, in terms of the support.
Well, I've always said a boxing ring's a boxing ring. Before I fought Roman Martinez, the fight was originally meant to be in Puerto Rico. I was more than happy to travel over there. As I've said, once to 2 years get in there, that's where it matters most. So that's just always the way I look at it.
On that topic, Michael, you've always said in the past that you're happy to go wherever the fights are.
Yeah.
You've been successful twice in London, knocked out 2 of London's favourite fighters.
Yeah.
Do you think you might have some of the fans in your corner this weekend, next
Yeah,
weekend?
very much so. I think so. Yes. You know, like I've always been happy to go around the world to fight. You know, like when I was 21 fights, I was 21-0 with 19 knockouts. No one was ever going to come to my backyard and fight me there. So I had to learn to fight in other people's backyard. But you know, fortunately now this has become a bit of a home to me as well here in England. And you know, but like Ricky says, you know, it doesn't matter where I fight. You know, you're all in the same ring, and but, you know, what happens is what happens.
You always enjoy being back in the UK. You've always said the fans are very appreciative, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, last time I fought in West Ham, and you know, I think when people talk about the football clubs, they say they're the most fiery of them all, and I was really going to expect, you know, it's a really hard time over there. But what they really did appreciate was gladiators. They appreciated fighters, and when they seen that I got out there and then I give it my best, I wasn't cocky or anything like that. You know, they respected me, and that's what I love about England. They respect fighters.
You've taken a lot from that experience, the Mitchell fight, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, every fight there's a lot to learn from, and I learn a lot there too.
expecting a big support down for this one, Ricky, from Scotland?
Well, I think as far as I'm aware, there'll be a good crowd travelling down. But obviously, big arenas such as Wembley. Again, I just can't wait to get in there and get on with it now. So I can't. Once we step in there, that's all that matters to me. So just want to get in and go on with it.
I think it's a fans fight as well. I mean, that's what, you know, obviously we've got George Groves on there as well from London. He you know, local lad. He's going to have a lot of supporters down. Paul Smith, people love to watch him. He's a great guy, one of the nicest guys in the sport. But if you want to come and watch two guys give it their all and really go for it, absolutely hammer and tong, it's these two guys. And, you know, for me, whether you're from Australia, you're from Scotland, or you're from London, you're going to want to watch a quality boxing fight, and that's what you're getting on, you know, on the 5th of November.
What was the hardest time making the weight? I mean, can you recall a day when you thought, I can't do this anymore?
I'd say it was the last fight against Nicky Cook. Usually, the way we used to do it was we used to try and obviously get down as low as you can, and then maybe the night before the weigh-in bring it back up slightly, and then maybe try and run in the morning of the weigh-in, even if it was just for half an hour. The last fight the other day, the weigh-in, you want to see the state of me try to run a pound off. I mean, honestly, I was just like a zombie, so I didn't have any life in me at all. We were down to Liverpool and we were in one of Billy's pals' gyms, and people were coming up and trying to talk to me, and you know, see that way, I was just that weight drained, I just didn't want to talk to him at all. But when reporters and that have been coming up to the gym over the last couple of weeks, they've noticed a difference in me as well. Before I was really drawn in at the face, they said that my whole attitude was just I couldn't be bothered with the attention, answering their questions and things like that. Whereas now I'm just more comfortable.
How much of a relief was it then that lasted such a short time?
Oh, it's just a big weight off my shoulders, honestly.
The fight's now just over a week away. What are the plans now, building up to this, Ricky?
We'll probably do our last hard session tomorrow. Then next week, it's just all about winding down light and fast, just staying sharp.
And the same for you, Michael?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't get any fitter now. I've done all the hard work. Now it's just about tapering off and enjoying the run-in.
It's an interim fight, isn't it, George? There's a lot at stake for both fighters.
Definitely. You know, it's for the interim because obviously you've got Juan Manuel Marquez as the WBO champion. He's stepped up to fight Manny Pacquiao. The WBO didn't want to strip him of that. You know, he's fighting one of the pound for pound greats. He's as I said, he's stepping up a division. But this is a world title fight. You know, and bottom line is fights sometimes don't even need a title, and this is one of them. You know, this is a fight that everyone wants to see.
George, if Ricky were to be successful, would you then petition the WBO to strip Juan Manuel Marquez?
I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't know. It'd have to depend on what Juan Manuel Marquez, it's a mouthful, that, isn't it? What he was doing. If he was, you know, I think some people are taking it for granted that Pacquiao's won that fight. You know, he might stay at that division. He might step back down. You know, that might be a fight for the future. Who knows? You know, I've got absolutely no doubt that that Ricky's got no qualms about who we put in front of him. So there's always things that can happen.
What's your assessment of the division at the moment, Michael?
Well, I don't think that Juan Manuel wants to fight me again. So I think, depending on what happens, he'll either vacate the title or he'll defend. So, he's a smart cookie, he knows what he's doing. And I guess he'll get with his manager and that'll dictate what happens with the title. But I think the winner of this fight will be the outright champion in the end.
Your thoughts as well, Ricky, on that?
Lightweight is one of the best divisions out there now, I'd say. Again, whoever wins this, there is definitely going to be bigger fights out there. Obviously, even get in the ring with Michael Katsidis and like the names these I just mentioned, Juan Manuel Marquez, even stepping in a ring with the likes of these, that's things I dream about. So, but again, it's going to bring out the best in me, and I've always said I'd fight Andy.
Got to do the business on the night first. That's what we're here for, anyway. Any more questions, guys? No, I think we're all done then. Thanks very much for coming.
iFILM, London. iFILM, London.